Okay, so everyone noted? Okay, move on to database. Okay, so last session we saw what is a database. Then a database is a collection of related data stored in a manner that enables information to be retrieved as needed. Okay, so this is the definition for a database. Okay, so what is the meaning of DB? What is the expansion of DBMS, database management system? Then, okay, where can I store the data? So initially, if you have MS Office, there is a name called a Microsoft Access. You can store your data in Microsoft Access. Then Open Office Base, Coral Paradox, Oracle Database, then MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL. Now we are using MongoDB. So all those softwares are related to storing the database only, storing the data only. So we are using this type of servers, this type of storage engine in a particular location or in a server. The main purpose of database is to store the data in a server. Okay, so we can classify this database into tables, fields, and records. So initially we are creating a database. After created database, we move on to table creation. Okay, in table creation, we are going to classify, we are going to segregate what are all the columns involved in the table. So after the field creation, I am going to insert a record. So these things we discussed already. So there are three tables. How, suppose I am a user, I am a customer, I am going to order a products from various shops. So I am going to order through laptop or through any application. So just I pick boots as a product. I am going to pick a boots product. So it will get from the product table. Suppose uh, I want to know how many stocks are available. So I move on to inventory table. Then how much quantity is available, it move on to inventory on order table. So we can access these data through multiple tables. Okay, then what is primary key? So primary key is nothing but this is the unique for every record. Suppose I'm going to insert a new record, I'm going to avoid some duplication values, we are using primary key. So primary key is very important for any table. So once you created a table, you have to indicate primary key as any one column. Okay. Then, okay, database designers. What is the role for? What is the role? What is their work involved in database? So designers are doing to design, developers to create the database, then programmers to access and to modify the database schema. So, okay, so these are all the things we discussed already. Okay. So database administrators, users. Okay, so you mainly the users work is to create data, update data, and retrieve information from the database. So normally we are using the CRUD. CRUD is nothing but create, update, delete. We are using this term in frameworks. In frameworks, we are using this term CRUD operation. So CRUD operation is nothing but I'm going to design a table or design a form in HTML or in PHP or in Python. So after I designed the form, I'm going to insert the values through the form. So I'm using CRUD operation. So I am going to insert the data through the form. After I inserted the data, I'm going to update. Then suppose I don't want the particular data, I'm going to delete. So these things involved in CRUD operation. Okay, so this is the evaluation. Okay, last class we discussed. Okay, what is the advantages and the disadvantages? Okay, so advantages is easier to secure, faster response time, lower storage requirements, increased data accuracy. Then, yeah, I already told, suppose I'm going to fetch the particular record, I'm using query related to the particular ID number. Suppose there is an employee called E001. I want the particular information from the record. So I just put the query, select star from table name where employee name equal, employee ID equal to 001. So it will fetch all the records related to the particular employee. So we are using, I mean, fetching particular data. It is very useful for an organization. Okay, so disadvantages is increased vulnerability. So backup is essential. So you have to back up your data, otherwise data will lost. You have to back up your data, and you can store your data in an online or in Drive, anything. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about file management systems. Yeah, okay, you just see these tables. Okay, here tables are not related, so more time consuming and more redundancy. Okay, so you can see the product table. In product table there are four columns: product number, product name, supplier and price. In product number, multiple data are available, but they are not similar. They are not similar. If it is similar, we can call it as duplication. Okay, so we move on to inventory table. Okay, in inventory table, there are six columns are available. I mean, six fields. First one is product number. First one is product number. Second field is product name. Third field is supplier. Then price, current stock, on order. Okay. So here, so there are four columns are already in product table. We can merge these two things. Okay, how to merge these two tables? We are using primary key or unique key. Okay, see here in product table, in product number column, A202 record is available. In inventory table, product number column, A202 is available. Suppose I am going to fetch product name, supplier, and the current stock. So I am using join. Okay, using join only, I am going to integrate two tables and get a main result. I mean, get the output. Okay, so third table is inventory on order table. Order number, product number, shipment date, product name, supplier, price, quantity. Okay, so in order number, multiple values are available. In product number also multiple values are available. So here file management system is referred to. Tables are not related, so more time consuming and more redundancy. So once the record is not related to other table, we can't fetch the record. So that is the thing we are going to discuss here. Once the record is not matching with another tables, we want at least one column, here. Here product number is available in three tables. So we are going to fetch data through this product number only. So we can use these three tables using product number, and product number is nothing but primary key. Okay. Okay. Another thing is we can't retrieve data. Yeah, because file management systems cannot retrieve data from more than one table at a time. There is a much higher level of redundancy. Okay, so data retrieving is very much important. So in a particular table, we can't store so many types of columns. We can't store 100 types of columns. So we are going to segregate these columns as tables. So based on tables, based on our requirement, we are going to fetch the data from these tables. Okay. So you just see this screen. We move on to next one. Okay, so everyone view the screen. Okay, so data hierarchy. Okay, so data hierarchy. There is a step-by-step process. So initially we start with the database. Okay, so initially we start with the database. Database contains a group of related tables. After created a particular database, we are creating tables. Wait a minute, I will show the console. Okay, so here I'm using the query show databases. Show databases. Okay, so once I mentioned this syntax, I mean query, so it will list all data, all the data type databases are available in this MySQL. Okay, so after show created show databases, I am using a particular database. So I am using organization. So I am using the database organization. So I mentioned organization. Here I gave use as a keyword. So use, then space, you can give database name. Okay, then use, you can give, then which database you want to, in which database you want to choose. On the database you have to view the tables. So first of all you have to choose your database. Okay, so the syntax is use, then you can give some space. After that you have give your database name. Okay, then I'm going to give show tables. Okay, so show tables. Okay, so in my database name is organization. Okay, in an organization database there is only one table. The table name is persons. Okay, so this is a table. Okay, so I'm going to how many records are available in table. Then what are all the records? So I'm going to view. I'm using the query select star from table name. Here my table name is persons. So I'm using select star from persons as my query. Okay. So there are, okay, 5 columns. I mean, 5 fields are available. First one is person ID. Second one is last name. Third one is first name, address, then city. Okay. Okay, now I'm using the query DESC. D is nothing but describe. Describe, then give space, then you can give your table name. So it will describe on what type of data type you are using in your field. I'm using person ID as an integer because I'm going to store the values as in, I mean, in whole numbers as a whole number only. So I'm using integer. Okay. So in bracket, we are giving some values like 11 to 55. So you can length your, I mean, you can, for example, you have to insert a gender, male or female. You have to give around only 6 characters. So you can put varchar of 6 or varchar of 10. So it is essential for the record. It is essential for the value. Then the second one is the last name. So I am using varchar. Varchar is nothing but suppose I am using a string, I am using varchar, or I am using alphanumeric values. Alphanumeric values is in some organizations, yeah, employee code is EMP001. In this code, alphabets also will come, then numbers also will come. So we are using this type of values as alphanumeric values. So we are using varchar. Okay, then first name, varchar, address, city. So all those things we are using value as only string. So we are giving varchar. So varchar is nothing but string or alphanumeric values. Okay, so yeah, before that I am using select star from table name. So I saw how many records. There is only one record in your table. Okay, and the record is 12 as a person ID, Tom B. Erickson as last name, Skagen as first name, Stavanger address, the Norwell Street city. Okay, so this is a duplicate record. I just put as an example for you. Okay, right. Everyone got it? Okay. I move on to slide. Okay. Okay. Everyone note this data hierarchy. Okay. In data hierarchy, initially start with the database. Then after database creation, table creation. Then after table creation, we are going to insert data as rows or records. Okay. So before that, yeah, before that we have to create columns. After that, we have to insert data in your rows. So, okay. Okay. Everyone noted? Okay. We move on to next slide. Okay. Then the entities and the entity relationships. Okay. So what is an entity? A person, object, or event of importance to the organization. Entities that the organization wants to store data about typically becomes a database table. So entity is nothing but a record. So it is related to that next field. I mean, next integration. So we are using entity as a person. Suppose I'm going to as an employee in an organization. My relation is employee ID, then employee name, date of birth, age. These are all the things I'm using as a field in database as a table. So I'm using as an entity. Okay. So attributes nothing but the characteristics of an entity typically become fields in the entities database table. Okay, then a relationship. So relationship between two or more entities and association between two or more entities. So these terms are using in a database. What is an entity? What are all attributes? Attributes is nothing but the fields. Suppose I'm going to create four fields in a particular table. So this is called as attributes. Then how it is related to that attribute? Okay, okay. You can note it down. Entities and entity relationships. Okay, everyone noted. Okay, once you noted, you can give a message. Okay. So this is important one. So one to one to many to many relationships. So one to one entity is related to only one other entity of a particular type. So we can call it as one to one entity relationship, not a common type of relationship. Okay, then next we move on to one to many entity relationship. Most common type of relationship, one entity can be related to more than one entity, more than one other entity. A supplier can supply more than one product to a company. Okay, so for example, yeah, we can take an example of Godrej. Okay, Godrej is a branded company. They are producing, they are manufacturing multiple types of products. Okay, so they market their products to every more and more companies. Okay, so we are using Godrej as an example. Supplier is nothing but as a customer. Okay, a supplier can supply more than one product to a company, so we can call it as supplier. Here, Godrej is a supplier. They sell their products to more companies. So we can classify as one to many entity relationship. Okay, then many to many entity relationships. One entity can be related to more than one other entity, and those entities can be related to multiple entities of the same type as the original entity. So, actually, there is an example for parent-child. Okay, so parent-child hierarchy. So, hierarchy is nothing but we are using inheritance in Python. So, in inheritance, it is related to the, I mean, son is related to father, father is related to grandfather. So there is a connectivity between those relations. So here one entity can be related to more than one other entity. So if the particular thing is related to someone, then the same thing will relate to other. So we can call it as many to many entity relationships. Okay, you can just note these things. We are see these things in practical. Okay, fine. Okay, so data definition. So next topic is data definition. Okay, the process of describing the properties of data to be included in a database table. Okay, during data definition, each field is assigned. Okay, here name must be unique within the table. Okay, then data type such as text, varchar, int, number, currency, date or time. Then description. So this is an optional one. Then properties, field size, format of the field, allowable range if field is required, etc. So finished specifications for a table become the table structure. Okay. So wait a minute. I will share the console. So there is a best example for you. Okay. So here I'm going to type DESC. I already did. Okay. DESC, then your table name. Here my table name is persons. Okay, so data definition is an best example for this one. Okay, here we are going to classify as a field type, then if there is any null value, null is nothing but empty value. If in your form there are so many fields are available, but so we are not entering all columns, we are not entering data or values in all columns. So if suppose if there is if there is any one field is empty, it will store as null. So null is nothing but empty. Okay, then key, then default extra. So here I'm going to add a name as person ID. Then I am using a data type as integer, because using in person ID, I'm going to insert only whole numbers. So I'm using integer. So in bracket, there is a value called 11. So I am assigning, I'm going to put only 11 characters. 11 is nothing but 11 characters. I'm going to store only 11 characters in this field, I mean in person ID. So I'm using 11. Suppose you are using only a mobile number. Suppose you are going to use the mobile number as a field name. So you are going to give only 10 values, I mean 10 characters only. So you can put int 10. So suppose you have to put as a 11th character, it will not accept, it will not store in the database, it will not store in the table. So you can give the correct size to the particular field. Okay. So this is your best example for this data characteristics. Wait a minute. Okay. So just note down this data definition. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Okay, so this is the picture related to, okay, field name, data type, description. Okay, so yeah, first one is indicates this field is the primary key. Okay, so primary key is nothing but, yeah, we already saw. So which one is primary key here? Product number is a primary key. Okay, so primary key is nothing but there is no duplication in the field. We are using this primary key as a bridge to connect to two or more tables. So this is the main purpose we are using this primary key. Okay, so here in this table shows indicates this field is the primary key. So this is an example. You just saw this example only. You can't note it down. Then fields and data types. Okay, so what is fields? Field is nothing but, so in my persons table I'm using person id, last name, first name, address, city. So these are all the fields. Then data type is nothing but, so I'm going to give a person id as integer, last name and first name as varchar. So this is called data type. Then field size for product numbers. Okay, how much size you are going to allocate. So just now I told, you are going to give mobile number as a field, so you can give only 10 as your value. Okay, then indicates that pattern product number data must follow one letter followed by three numbers. Okay, so this is description. This is nothing but description. Okay, a validation rule can be entered here. Okay, then table structure. The table structure specifies the fields and their characteristics. Okay, then properties of current field, product number. Okay, so you can give your description. For example, product number as a field name, then integer as data type. So you can give some text as a description. So what is the purpose for using this data? I mean, in this field, and suppose I'm going to using person id, so I just give, so this is the id for the person. So you can give some description here. Okay. So then table data. So the data is entered into the table in the appropriate fields. So this is the entire table. We are going to insert some data. Here some data are available. A new record can be added here. It would become the sixth record in this table. Okay. So there are already 5 records are available. I'm going to insert a sixth record. So the entire table structure is here. Here, field name, then values are only available. We can't see the data type or size in the main table. Okay, wait a minute, I will show in Workbench. Okay, this is a Workbench. Okay, so I am using organizations. I just click organization. Okay, so there are so many tabs are available, but I am going to see the records. I am going to give queries only in SQL window. So this is an SQL window. So here we can create database, tables, fields, records, all those things. We are going to give queries here only. Okay, so now I am going to give show databases. Okay, so here they list out all the database available in this MySQL. Okay, so you can see it in left hand side. I return this query show databases. It will show all databases here. Okay, then I move on to, okay. So I'm using organization. So I'm using organization. Okay, then I'm using select star from, sorry, before that I am using show how many tables are available in this database. So I'm using the query show tables. Okay, so there is only one table. The table name is persons. Okay, I found the table name. Now I am going to fetch how many records are available. Okay, so there is only one record. Person ID is 12, last name Tom B. Erickson, First name is Kajan, address Stavanger, city Norwell Street. Okay, here you note a point. So here we can't see the data type. We can't see the value. So we just saw only the field name and records only. Okay, you just note it down. We are seeing only the field name and the values only, records only. We can't see the data type. We can't see the number, how much value I am going to give for a particular field. We can't see that information. We just see only the field name and only the records. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is an example. So all those things are available here. Table data, table structure, then a field, data type, then a field size, primary key. Okay. Next we move on to data dictionary. Okay. Data dictionary is nothing but contains all data definitions in your database, including table structures, security information like passwords, relationships between the tables in the database, basic information about each table, such as the current number of records. It does not contain any of the data in the tables. It does contain metadata, which is information about these tables. Ensures that data being entered into the database does not violate any specific criteria. Actually, yeah, we using data dictionary, we are using queries. We are using queries only to fetch whether the data is available or available or not. We are going to use queries only. We are going to identify. Okay, suppose if there is any data available in the table, I'm going to fetch a select star from something. So I'm going to fetch the particular record. I am using the query select star from table name where particular field name equal to value. So this type of queries we are using to get whether the value is available or not. Okay, so using data dictionary, we can segregate table structures, then security information. Okay, so I'm going to give as a password to protect a database, to protect a user. Okay, I'm using this security information in data dictionary. Okay, then a relationship between these tables in the database. Okay, we already saw what is the relationship between these tables. Okay, here product number is available in product table, product I mean product name is available in inventory table. But using these tables, I am going to make as a join. Using join query, I am using to merge. I'm using to fetch as a one table. These tables are classified as into one table. So I am using this primary key. So here I am using order number, product name. So I'm going to fetch this type of records only through primary key. So fetching is very important. And also join, I'm using join. Using join only, I'm going to join two tables. Okay. Okay. So all those things we are doing it in practical. You just note down the concepts only. Okay. You just note down the data dictionary. Okay, everyone noted? Yeah, good. Okay, so next one is data integrity, accuracy of data, quality of data entered determines the quality of generated information. Then data validation, process of ensuring that the data entered into database is valid. Record validation rules, checks all fields before changes to a record are saved. Can be enforced on a per transaction basis. So the entire transaction will fail if one part is invalid. Okay. Okay. So here, data integrity. Okay. So accuracy of data. Then we have to insert only the related data only in a database. Okay. So we are not storing any unwanted data, then empty data. We can't store that type of data in a database. So otherwise, it will acquire some memory. It is waste for us. So we are using only the quality. Quality is nothing but a related data. So we are using only related data. Okay. Then what is data validation? So validation is nothing but process of ensuring the data entered into the database is valid. So yeah, I already told. So valid data is, suppose I am going to insert a person ID, I am going to give a number. I mean, not just a number that is related to that employee. Yeah, suppose in an organization, there are so many departments are available. In every department, so many workers are working. So I'm going to insert a production department workers. There are only 50 types of workers. So these 50 types of workers, I'm going to insert their records as employee ID, name, age, date of birth. Then what is the designation, then what is the role, then how much salary they are getting. So all those things I'm going to enter. So for example, in an employee ID, I'm not just putting a 101 102. That is not a valid record. So valid record is the company are allocated some identity number to the particular employee. For example, production department employee has a P001. So this is the valid record for a particular field. So we are going to insert only valid records only. Okay, then record validation rules checks all fields before changes to a record are saved. Okay, so once you saved, you have to check whether the given record is correct or not correct. Okay, then can be enforced on a per transaction basis. So the entire transaction will fail if one part is invalid. Yeah. Okay. Suppose I'm going to insert a person ID as a 0. So it doesn't mean nothing. Okay. So 0 is invalid record. So I'm not insert this record in person ID. So you have to insert a valid record on your valid field name. Okay. So for example, I will show the terminal. Okay, so here we are using the query select star from table persons. Okay, so here the value is 12 as person ID, Tom B. Erickson as last name, Skajan as first name. Okay, I'm going to take these three fields. Okay, so I just interchange. Suppose I'm going to insert Tom B. Erickson in the person ID field, then 12 as in last name. It is not a related data. So this data is waste. I mean, this data, we are not using this data. So we can avoid these things. You have to insert only the related data in a related field. Then only it is useful for us. So, okay. Otherwise, after we are going to do some salary calculations in our SQL. So once you have to put a correct figure only. So if you are not putting a wrong figure, it will affect the payroll. So that is very much important in every organization. You are going to prepare a payroll in MySQL. It is very, very important. So once you inserted a corrected record in a particular payroll table, so it will calculate, not only fetch, it will calculate the fields like basic salary, dearness allowance, house rent allowance, then city compensatory allowance. So all those things are calculated. If there is any allowances, it will deduct from the allowances. So then it will get the net result. So you have to input a correct figure on your database. Okay. Okay, you just note it down. What is data integrity? Then data validation. Okay, everyone noted? Yeah. Okay, so database logging, okay, prevents two individuals from changing the same data at the same time. Okay, so only data matching a field's assigned data type may be entered into that field. Validation rule violation, only data conforming to a field's assigned validation rule may be entered into that field. Okay, so database prevents two individuals from changing the same data at the same time. Okay, so you have to insert once you fixed a primary key. So you can use this example. Okay, so here product number, you can take a product table, product number, product name, supplier and price. So once you fix the primary key in your product number, we can't insert a duplicate record in the table. Okay, so there are so many records are available. A202, 211, 222, 43, 51. So these are all the records available. I'm going to insert another record called A202. Okay, so I'm going to insert another A202 as a product number. So if you set as a primary key for this field, so you can't insert the duplicate data in the table. Okay, so here, okay, so database logging is you have to set the primary key on your field. You can't insert duplication here. Okay, then yeah, this is one of the database logging. So okay, wait a minute. Then data security. So what is data security? Security is nothing but we have to protect our database. Yeah, protects data against destruction and misuse. Okay, so I'm having a payroll records, I'm having salary oriented records, so no one will see these records. So yeah, we have to segregate, we have to protect those records. So no one unauthorized users are not accessing the data. So that is very much important. Protects against unauthorized access to and unauthorized use of a database. Database activity monitoring programs can be used to detect possible intrusions and errors. Prevents data loss. Should include strict backup and disaster recovery procedures. Should be used with both in-house and cloud databases. Okay, both in-house is nothing but an offline database. Okay, in an organization, they are not using cloud because data are only in their organizations. So they are not using cloud oriented because no one will view the data as a public. As suppose I am a public, I am not viewing the any organization data. So organizations are maintained only offline databases. Okay, so cloud databases. Yeah, so yeah, we are going to yeah, we can take an example of a Gmail. Okay, in Gmail, I'm going to insert a text. I'm going to send a document, then pictures, images, audios, videos, all types of data. So we are going to send, but all those things we are stored only in database only. I mean, online databases. So on every time, suppose I'm going to log in with my Gmail, I'm going to view my records. I am going to view my recipient's mail. So these things only available in online, but in an offline we are going to categorize data. We are not accessing data in any online. These data are available only in their server. I mean, in an organization they are maintaining a server. Those data are available only in the server only. So protection is very, very important. Data security is very important for an organization. So we have to protect all data through data security. Okay, okay, you can take these two slides, take a note of it. Okay, noted this line. Database logging. Yeah, okay. Okay, everyone noted? Yeah, okay. Yeah, today we discussed some important concepts in database. In our next session, we are going to see some important concepts. Then we are going to install MySQL on your laptop. Okay, so on our next session, we will do this one. Okay, if anyone have any queries or doubts. Okay. Okay, so in our next session, we will see some important concepts in database. Then we have to install MySQL on your laptop, and we will create database, then table, and all those things we are going to follow in our syllabus. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We will meet on our next session. Thank you.